That's the I still love being blues. I still love being I still love blues. I still love being I still love blues. Just like a tree that's planted by the mountains. I still love being blues. It's I still love being blues. Whoops. Well, that's the short version of that one. All right, all right, all right. Welcome to the Waycast. Glad to see each one of you here. That was Gracie Pike and I think her husband. I'm not sure. That thank her for allowing us to use her rendition of what I call "Anchored in Jehovah" or "I Shall Not Be Moved." And tonight we are in Revelations chapter 16, 18, somewhere along those lines. And I'll kind of do the introduction. This is Philip. And he will be doing my reading for me since I have lost my eyesight. And so the we have he has Daryl Shepard's version of Through the Bible by J. Vernon McGee. And then this is, you've heard me allude to it. This is the copy that my uncle Amos gave me. I actually looked in the front of it. It was on my 21st birthday that he gave me this set of commentaries for Through the Bible. He listened to it faithfully at noon every day. I don't know if people have realized or found that he usually comes on Christian radio in about noon every day in most venues. It looks like we're live on YouTube and live on Rumble. I'm not finding us on Twitch and Facebook yet, but they may come and join us later. I don't know, or maybe Facebook has not been liking me, hasn't been letting me tag CR uh, the CR page on Facebook here recently. So while you're reading, I may do that, but I'm going to try to follow along with you in case there's something we need to help you with. But you can go ahead and start reading.
All right. So in the chapter before us, we see the judgment of commercial Babylon and reaction of both earth and heaven to it.
Okay, and the theme of this chapter is the political and commercial Babylon judged, by the way.
Yes. In chapters 17 and 18, two Babylons are brought before us. The Babylon of chapter 17 is ecclesiastical, and the Babylon of chapter 18 is economic. The first is religious, and the first is religious, the apostate church, which has entered the Great Tribulation period. The second is political and commercial. The commercial center is loved by the kings of the earth, and the apostate church is hated by the kings of the earth. As we saw in chapter 17, the apostate church is destroyed by the kings of the earth. When Christ returns, political Babylon will be destroyed by the judgment of God. Obviously, Babylon, mystery.
Yes, mystery.
Sorry. Obviously, mystery Babylon, the apostate church is destroyed first in the midst of the Great Tribulation, while commercial Babylon will be destroyed at the second coming of Christ. These two Babylons are not one and the same city. I personally
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I personally believe that Mystery Babylon is Rome, and that when it goes down in the midst of the Great Tribulation, the religious center shifts to Jerusalem because it is at Jerusalem that the false prophet will put up his image of the Antichrist to be worshipped. commercial commercial Babylon is ancient Babylon rebuilt as a commercial capital of the world. This city is the final capital of the political power of the beast. A few years ago, it seemed rather far fetched that the power could reach back into the Mid East, but since then we have experienced a shortage of energy, and when they cut off the oil supply, the whole world feels it. They wield tremendous power. The wealth of the world is moving into that particular area because of the oil price of oil. It could well become the great commercial capital of the world, and this great commercial center, which will be Babylon rebuilt, will be destroyed at the second coming of Christ. Okay.
One
Sometime.
of the things that's interesting there is, if I interject, is that the from when the time McGee wrote this till now, things have changed. He wrote this in the early 70s.
Mhm,
There was a oil crisis in the early 70s with Nixon,
mhm,
and Nixon had to it was had to do with our gold standard. We'd come off the gold standard, and
yep,
he had to evaluate our gold
mhm,
and bring it up to current value. It hadn't been assessed since they had taken it off the gold standard in '64,
mhm,
and so that car created a oil embargo because they didn't know if we had the money to
mhm.
pay for it.
Yeah.
That's why they stopped giving us oil. In the late '70s, in Jimmy Carter's time, again we had another oil embargo, but it was because they wanted to hike up the price.
Mhm,
And I remember, there was a trucker strike, and people said, this is before you were born,
yes.
but I remember truckers sitting at the end of my road there,
Mhm,
and because the truckers would use the old road,
mhm,
that to get to, well, that was before the parkway was built, I guess. Come to think of it, but they would have like blockades. They were trying to stop rogue truckers from that came out of this oil embargo. But one of the things is that was why it was so important that we found. I think we found in the Gulf. Didn't we find one of the largest
mhm.
oil?
There was one there, and then there was one in Alaska.
Yes, that's what I was getting ready to say. We read the same news, but that set us up for life, or not being able to, where we're not dependent upon the Middle East any
Yeah.
longer. It is a good point that because that's one of the things you see in Revelation is touch not the oil.
Mhm,
And so, I often make, after Kuwait, when they burned the oil fields,
mhm,
whenever the Iraq left, it kind of made you think that, maybe that's what they're talking about, not the drinking oil, but
yeah.
not the riches, is what how J. Vernon McGee would interpret it. But don't touch the oil fields,
Yeah.
don't burn them as you're retreating. I don't know, but but that's one of the things Jay Vernon is very, I like that he's not going to go out on a limb.
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful.
Mhm,
But he does say a lot of things that are in his time,
mhm,
and this is one of them, that they were depending upon them for oil, but
mhm,
no longer really are we.
mhm,
Which is, even though I guess the globalists would like for us to be, it seems
mhm.
like they stopped
Pipelines.
they stopped our production of oil during
Mhm.
Biden, and so it seems like that goes against what they need to happen. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, go ahead, Rick. You remember where we were?
Let's see. Let's see. Price of oil in this commercial center crisis. Okay, here we go. Some time ago, a Jew challenged the Israeli minister of tourism by saying, How does it come out of all that come about that all the countries surrounding Israel have oil, but Israel doesn't? His reply was this: God gave the Arabs oil and the Jews the Bible. Do you want to exchange? Do you want to exchange with them? God forbid. The oil will run out quick enough, but the Bible will last forever. There had been some disagreement among the conservative um, expositors. There we go, about whether or not the ancient Babylon will be rebuilt. Candidly, for many years, I took the position it would not be rebuilt. However, I believe now that it will be rebuilt. Isaiah 13, 19, and 22 speaks of the fact that the ancient Babylon is to be rebuilt and destroyed, and this destruction is what is mentioned in chapter 18 of Revelation, which is before us. Actually, I don't think it could be rebuilt on the same spot because the Euphrates River has moved about 14 miles from the ancient city.
And
Now, that being said, I'm going to beat you to this.
reread this in the books, right? Go ahead.
Well, so no, I don't know about history books, but I was saying, isn't the Euphrates the one that they're talking about that is dried up, or was that
In Revelations, it's dried up in the.
well, I was talking about now. I had seen stuff that it was dried
Oh, really?
up. Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Because that was.
And that could just be clickbait too. But I mean, I had been seeing it over the last couple of years.
Probably is, but it is. That was. I think that was in the last chapter, wasn't it, guys?
Yeah, probably was. But I remember it talks about
the river Euphrates dries up. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it probably is, but I
Yeah.
couldn't see that because it's like the Mississippi or something.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's a huge river. Yeah.
But now my understanding that drying up is not just it's drying up that has like a more meaning to it. Like there's more to it than just that river drying up.
Well, we covered this. I think it was last chapter.
Mhm.
Is that you probably haven't had time to catch up with me,
I'm a
but
little busy.
but the armies from the east, well, it was dried up so that they can come and march on Israel.
Yeah.
And so that was the reason. It is one of the. Was it one of I've kind of lost track whether it was a bowl or or a trumpet, but I think it's one. I think it's one of the bowls in
The bowls of wrath.
Yeah, but one of the bowls from Wrath in chapter 15.
Mhm.
I think we're actually back there.
Oh, sorry.
And so that's why my memory is like, okay, that happened yesterday. I don't remember what happened yesterday. But but no, what I was going to say was, I don't know if you remember this, but Saddam Hussein was actually rebuilding Babylon.
Mhm.
And I googled it while he was reading, while I was listening to this yesterday, and I thought that he stopped it, whenever he died,
Mhm.
but it wasn't whenever he died. It was actually when the United States invaded Iraq, that stopped the construction of Babylon. And actually, they say they have built. It's made it may be more difficult to rebuild because they built some helipads there. Part of our invasion was building infrastructure on Babylon. Yeah, but so it came to my mind again. Everybody's thinking about rebuilding the temple, but really we need Babylon to be rebuilt. So we're not anywhere near. They're not, but probably in 3.5 years, with intense effort, like if they had Trump in charge, they probably could rebuild. Of course, he's talking about rebuilding the Gaza Strip,
Yeah.
make him in paradise in his administration. So,
Well, I mean, he's an ambitious man.
so you could build a city there.
Yeah.
That would be kind of what that you would see there. It wouldn't have the long life because as we're going to read, it has a lot of a lot there.
Fair enough. All right, let's see.
Here at the end of
Yes.
that paragraph.
There are views of the destruction of Babylon which are diametrically opposed to each other. The viewpoint and perspective are highly important. Um, the reaction of men of business and politics is one of great anguish. To them, it is the depth of tragedy. It means that the total bankruptcy of big business. The second reaction is that of heaven. It is one of the joy. It is one of joy that the holiness and justice of God is vindicated. It means the end of man's sinful career on earth. This will bring to an end the great tribulation period.
And that